ready?
Yes, Bhante.
Okay. Let's start our Dhamma discussion by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. It's okay. Today, I would like to share the essence of Cakkavatti Sutta taken from Patikawaka Dika Nikaya to the Indonesia group. Online Dhammatalk. I have no experience in online Dhammatalk. Okay, that's why we may have some difficulty, and be patient. Okay. One thing is, there are also many Indonesia founder branches. So they also invited me to come there to give the Dhammatalk or to do short meditation retreat. So I also don't have too much time to come to Indonesia, especially to go to many branches. That's it. That's why now they invite to give Dhammatalk in online. That's why there will be more convenience for all meditators from Indonesia. So if I give one at only one place, then they can listen. Every meditators can listen from many places. So now I would like to explain, Cakkavatti Sutta. Cakkavatti Sutta. The Buddha was given this suttas in Matula city and Magadha countries. Then the Buddha called his disciples, or his disciple bhikkhus, bhikkhu or bhikkhus. Okay. Then they also replied, Bhadante, Dami Bhande, or Bhande, they replied. Then they know each other. The Buddha reminded them, I will start to give one Dhammatalk to you. That's why the Buddha reminded them by calling bhikkhus. Okay, then the Buddha also replies, Bhande or Bhadante. Then they also they are also mindful with the Buddha's Dhammatalk. They are also listeners to the Buddha's instructions. So they know each other. Then the Buddha start to admonish with few sentences. Okay. Adda dipa bhikkhu viharata adda sarana anenya sarana. Dhamma dipa dhamma sarana anenya sarana. Oh, the Buddha start to give. Bhikkhus, be islands unto yourselves, be a refuge unto yourself, with no other refuge. Let the Dhamma be your islands, let the Dhamma be your refuge with no other refuge. Oh, these Buddha's teachings are very famous everywhere in the world. So the Buddha encourages you to stay with yourself by relying on yourself. Okay, to stay with your Dhamma by relying on your Dhamma that you have practiced. Okay, so in the Sutta, the Buddha was giving these instructions to his disciple bhikkhus. But although the Buddha gave these instructions to his disciples during the Buddha times, but until now, these instructions still exist in the world. So the Buddha is giving these instructions to you. So you should also follow according to the Buddha's instructions. Okay? All of you should be islands unto yourself. You should be a refuge unto yourself, with no other refuge. Okay? Let the Dhamma be your islands. Let the Dhamma be your refuge, with no other refuge. So how to stay with the, how to stay as an island unto yourself, how to stay as a refuge unto yourself, with no other refuge. With the Dhamma be as your island, with the Dhamma as your refuge, with no other refuge. Oh, the Buddha asked this question himself. Okay, how to stay by relying on yourself? How to stay? How to live by relying on your Dhamma that you have practiced? The Buddha asked these questions. Okay, then you also know how to stay. How to stay reliant on yourself, how to stay reliant on your Dhamma. Or Ida bhikkhu e bhikkhu kaye kaya nupasi viharati. You should abide, contemplating the body as a body, or kaya nupassana satipatthana. Okay? That means you should stay by relying on yourself. You should stay by relying on your Dhamma. You should practice full establishment of mindfulness, full satipatthana. Okay? Satipatthana means kaya nupassana satipatthana, contemplating on body as body. So you should contemplate on your body as body. Another one is a chaita vedana su vedana nupasi viharati. Then you should also abide contemplating feeling as feelings. So then when you are contemplating feeling as feelings, then you are also staying, relying on yourself or relying on your Dhamma. Then another one is a chaita nupasi viharati. You should also abide contemplating consciousness as consciousness or mind as mind. Then you are also practicing chaita nupassana satipatthana. Then you are staying, relying on yourself or relying on your Dhamma. Then another one is a dhammesu dhamma nupasi viharati. You should also abide contemplating Dhamma object as Dhamma object. Then you are practicing Dhamma nupassana satipatthana. If you are practicing Dhamma nupassana satipatthana, you are living, relying on yourself or your Dhamma. In this case, I need to explain a little bit meditation practice. Okay. Kaya nupassana. In kaya nupassana satipatthana, there are many meditation subjects, such as anapanasati meditations, mindfulness of breathing meditations. You are practicing mindfulness of breathing meditation according to the Buddha's instructions. At the time you are practicing this mindfulness of breathing meditations with effort. Atapi or atapi is an effort. You try to know the meditation objects. in-breath, out-breath objects. This is the right effort. Samma Vayama. Sambhajano, you trying to know the meditation objects with effort. At the time, you can penetrate the meditation objects. At the time, that's a wisdom. Okay? Samma Detti, right view or right understanding. Then if there's a right view, there's also Samma Sankappa, right thoughts. Okay, right thoughts. Then you are also trying to know the meditation objects with mindfulness. Without mindfulness, it is impossible to be aware of the meditation objects. So you are also trying to know the meditation objects with mindfulness. So this is a Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Then when you can concentrate on the meditation objects, then there will be Samma Samadhi, right concentration. So these five are five walking mechanisms. Before practicing or when you are practicing meditation, you are also observing 5 precepts or 8 precepts according to your abilities. Then there will be Samma Vaca, right speech, Samma Kamanda, right actions, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Or they are Sila Mekenga. Altogether, Noble Eightfold. Okay, then you understand when you are practicing Anapana meditations, you are practicing this Anapana meditations with Noble Eightfold Paths. Then, okay, then understand how to practice Anapana meditations since you are a meditator in Indonesia spiritual branch. Okay, so I will not explain the practice of Anapana meditations now. Then when you are practicing in this way, then you can be successful up to jhanas concentration state, up to 4 jhanas concentration state. Or you are contemplating body as body. Or then when you are successful in this Anapana meditation up to jhanas concentration state, then you can also continue to practice, for example, 4 elements, 32 parts of the body. 32 parts of the body, then Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danda, Daso, etc. Okay? Then you are also contemplating body as body, or Kaya Nupassana Stipthana. In the same way, then you can continue to practice, for example, 4 elements meditations. Then earth element, water element, fire element, wind element, in this way. Pay attention to their respective characteristics. Then you are also practicing Kaya Nupassana Satipatthana. Then you can continue to practice Rupa meditations. Rupa meditations, okay? They're systematically, step by step. Then you are also practicing Kaya Nupassana Satipatthana. So you are contemplating as body as body. Okay, then Varanasu, Varananupasi, Viharati, Bhikkhu abides contemplating feeling as feelings. Then you can continue to practice Nama meditations. Okay, Nama meditation. When you are practicing Nama meditations, then you can start to analyze Nama beginning from Virana, feelings, Kusala, beginning from Virana, feeling. There are Virana, feeling in each mind moment. Okay, in each mind moment. or you can discern the Vedana accordingly. At the time you are contemplating, Vedana is Vedana. Okay, you are contemplating, feeling is feeling. Then Chaita Nupasi Viharati. When you are practicing Nama meditations, you need to practice Kusala and Akusala Nama according to the process, according to their nature. When you are contemplating those mind, when you contemplate Nama beginning from consciousness, mind, okay? At that kusala or agusala, at the time you are contemplating mind as mind. You are contemplating consciousness as consciousness. Dhammesu Dhammanupasi Viharati, you should also abide contemplating Dhamma objects, Dhamma objects. How to abide? For example, when you are contemplating the kusala or agusala, maybe 5 aggregates, 12 bases or 18 elements, etc. At that time, you can start to analyze, you can start to discern beginning from phasa, etc. When you are analyzing nama beginning from phasa, when you are contemplating vipassana beginning from phasa, then at the time you are contemplating Dhamma object is Dhamma objects. Dhamma Nupassana. So altogether 4 Nupassana. Kaya Nupassana, Satipatthana, Vedana Nupassana, Satipatthana, Citta Nupassana, Satipatthana, and Dhamma Nupassana, Satipatthana. Then when you can successfully practice Nama meditations, then you can continue to find their causes, okay, depending on origination. Then you can also find out their causes, the cause of Nama and Rupa. Then when you can discern Nama, Rupa and their causes as they really are, according to reality, okay, then you will understand their nature. The nature of Nama Rupa. As soon as they arise and perish, so their nature is arising and perishing. After arising, they will perish. There's nothing. Or this is their nature. That's why paying attention to their nature, you can contemplate them as anicca, impermanence. Okay, impermanence. Dukkha, dissatisfactory or suffering. Suffering. Then anatta, non-self. Oh, this is we call vipassana meditations. Then you can practice vipassana meditation systematically, step by step. Finally, your vipassana knowledge will become mature. At the end of maturation stage of vipassana knowledge, you can realize nibbana. When you are practicing meditations, all these 4 foundations of mindfulness with Noble Eightfold Paths, then you are staying by relying. You stay by relying on yourself. Okay, you are staying with your own Dhamma. Then at that time, you don't need to rely on others. You don't need to refuse others. Okay? So the Buddha encouraged you to stay with your own Dhamma. Okay? Then Buddha continued to encourage you to stay with them, to stay at Father's land. Okay? Kochare bhikkhu charatha sake pitike vise. Kochare bhikkhu charatha sake pitike vise. The Buddha encouraged you to stay in Father's land. Father's land means our Buddha instructed you to stay with 4 Satipatthanas. Okay? This is our Dhamma Father's Buddha's land. When you are staying in the Father's lands, then Maharaj will not disturb you. Will not disturb you. Okay? When you are contemplating the body as body, feeling as feeling, consciousness, Dhamma object is Dhamma objects. At the time, your practice will lead to realization of Nibbana. Will lead to Nibbana. Okay? Then at that time, Maharaj cannot disturb you. Otherwise, you will waste your time by enjoying with sensual pleasures. At the time, Mara will disturb you. Mara will torture you. Mara me, Deva Buddha Mara, you know, the Deva, evil one. He can also disturb you to accumulate akusala. And Deva Buddha Mara, Deva Buddha Mara's me, the evil one, the Deva from Pranamisa Vasavati Devara. Or he and his follower can disturb you to experience suffering. Okay? Then Kilesa Mara, so the mental defilements also will torture you. Okay, not to be peaceful in your life. Loba, dosa, moha, mana, etc. They will appear in your mind when you stay with sensual pleasure objects without staying with full foundations of mindfulness of our Father's land. Another one is Mechu Mara or death. Okay? Death. Then if they are negligent with sensual pleasure without practicing meditation or full foundations of mindfulness, then they need to die again and again, life after life. They cannot finish. This is called Mechu Mara, the Mara of death. That's why you should stay in our Father's land. Okay? Our Father's land, our Father's Buddha's instruction. After giving the instructions to bhikkhus, the Buddha continues to talk about Dhammatalk Cakkavatti king, okay, universal monarch. So then we will also continue to explain about universal monarch, Dhammatalk briefly. By listening to this sutta, then you will also understand the increases of lifespan and beauty, etc., and decreases of lifespan and beauties. Okay, once upon a time, there was a universal monarch named Dhammatalk. He conquered the whole world. He rules the whole world. He also conquered all enemies. He can control the whole world or his countries to be stable or peaceful. One by one, okay? Okay, then he possessed all 7 treasures, okay? Ratana, Satta Ratana. Number 1, Chakka Ratana, or Hui treasure, that Hui treasure. Then another one is a Hati Ratana, the elephant treasure. Then Asa Asa Ratana, Asa Ratana, the horse treasure. The Mani Ratana, the jewel treasures. Then Gahapati Ratana, the Hausida treasure. Then 80 Ratana, 80 Ratana, the queen treasure, women treasure. Then Gahapati Ratana, the Hafsida's treasure. And Parinayaka Ratana, the Kausala treasure. Me, the added son treasure. Okay, crown son treasure, crown prince treasure. Altogether 7 treasures. Okay, so do you want to know the power of these treasures? Chaka Ratana. Chaka Ratana is the jewel wheel. Okay, the treasure, jewel wheel treasures. Jewel treasures, no? The jewel treasure, wheel treasures. So wheel treasures.
Oh, wheel.
Because of this wheel treasures, he conquered the whole world. The whole world. With these wheel treasures, he can go to the whole world. When the other can see the treasure, the wheel treasures, all become the universal monarch's followers. They don't fight best to universal monarch. So this is the most important treasures among these 7 treasures. Then the elephant treasures and the horse treasures, they are also very powerful. When the universal monarch wants to go to anywhere in the world, he can go with these treasures, elephant treasures or horse treasures, within short times. Then he go, for example, after dawn times, he go to anywhere in the world, very far away from his original place, using these treasures. Then he can come back to his country, his original place, his palace, before meal, before lunch.
Fly, Sayadaw.
Now the first day nowadays very flight, the quick flight, and no flights can compare those treasures.
Wow.
They are also their body is white. That's why white elephant or white horse. Okay, then I think. You understand the power of those treasures. Okay, now not so much time left. That's why I need to go a little bit faster. Okay. He also have the many thousands of sons. They are also very powerful. So whatever the universal monarchs wants, then they can do everything. Okay. Then he can conquer the whole world without using any weapons, any stick, with the Dhamma. Then, after many hundreds and thousands years, then the king, the universal monarch, okay, Dhamma named universal monarch as one means to inform him. Please come, my dear. Please observe the Chaka, Chaka Ratana. Chaka Ratana exists in front of his palace, in the sky. Okay, in the sky, in front of his palace, in the sky. Then he asked one of his followers, please observe this Chaka Yarana, okay, who treasures. whether if slipped from its position or not. Okay, when it slipped or dropped down from his position, please repose to me. After many thousands years, then the men saw the wheat treasure, Jagaratana, slipped from its positions. Okay, maybe a little bit, for example, about a few inches, etc. Then when he saw the wheat treasure drop down from its own position, its own place, then he went to universal monarchs to inform about these durations. Then universal monarchs also knew about the dropping of the wheat treasure. What is the meanings? When the Jagaratana wheat treasures slip from its own positions, even it is a little bit, then that means this universal monarch's lifespans will not be longer. Okay, he will die after some times, or by because of this reason, then he asked his crown prince to come to him. Then he discussed with his sons. Then, Jagaratana, wheat treasures, slipped from its position. That's why I cannot live longer. So I have already enjoyed with sensual pleasures for many years. Now is the time for the time to search for heavenly pleasures. Then, after saying in this way to his crown prince, then he transferred his country to his eldest sons to conquer the lands or to conquer the whole world, the whole countries. After that, he became ascetic, easy, hermit. After ordination as hermit, ascetics, he stayed in his royal gardens, not so far from the city. Okay, then after 7 days of his ordinations, when his eldest son is ruling the countries as a king, then Jagaratana, the wheat treasure, secret treasures, disappears. Then the king, the eldest son's kings saw these durations. Okay, the people from the palace informed the king. Then he also knew about it. Then he felt sick because of the disappearance of the wheat treasure. Then he went to his father Hamid to discuss about the situation. And his father Hamid also encouraged him not to feel sick. Then he continued to explain, to observe the duty of universal monarchs, to appear the wheat treasure again. Okay. Then this hermit, the former universal monarchs, explain the duties of universal monarchs to appear the Jagaratana, the wheat treasures, to his son. So what is the duties of universal monarch? Actually, there are, the 10 or 12 things, 10 10 or 12 duties or universal monarchs. But here in Pali, we briefly explains, okay? We briefly explains. Then he admonished his son. First, you should conquer the country in accordance with the Dhamma. You should also protect all people in the countries. You should also take care of them. In the same way, you should also protect the animals in your countries. Okay, you should give the animals to be free from the dangers. Then another one, you should also protect your countries not to have torturing each other.
Okay.
Then you should also support with the property those who are needed, those who are poor. Then you should also approach the, good persons like hermits or ascetics who are following the Dhamma. By approaching them, you should also ask the questions: what is kusala, what is akusala? Okay, what is blameworthy, what is blameless? What should be followed, what should not be followed? In this way, when you know this is good, this is bad, then you should avoid. You should accumulate wholesomeness, kusala, and you should avoid doing akusala. When you follow in this way, when you follow those Dhamma in this way, okay, then these are the duties of universal monarchs. Then when he have the duties of universal monarchs, then he also follow his father's instructions. Then he follow the Dhamma. He fulfill the duties of universal monarchs. And the Upasatha day, the full moon day, okay, one full moon day is washing his head, then he climbed up top of his mansion, his palace. Then he observed Upasatha, 8 precepts or 10 precepts. When he practiced the duty of universal monarchs, then after 7 days, the Chakka Ratana, the wheat treasures appear at its original place again. Then this the universal monarchs. Okay, this sons of universal monarchs take this wheat treasure with his left hands. With his right hands. Then he also take one cup, one jug with handles. Then after that, he put the water to the wheat treasure, saying, Pawatatu Bhavan Chakka Ratana, may the wheat treasure stand. Pawatatu Abhuvisinatu Bhavan Chakka Ratana, may the wheat treasures conquer. As soon as he poured the waters to the wheat treasures, then it turns into the sky, it flies into the sky. Then, the king also, together with his follower, his armies, 4 armies, follow with wheat treasures. Then the wheat treasure went to the oceans in the east, okay, east directions. Okay. Then when the wheat thresher stop at the east directions, then the king also stop together with his army. Then the kings from those places, okay, the kings from the east directions came to the kings. Then he gave his countries to the king. Okay, please conquer our countries. This is your countries. Please welcome to our country. Or this country is your country. Please conquer us. In this way, they gave their countries to the king. Then this Chaku, the king, the universal monarchs asked them, okay, only just he gave admonish to them. Panona handabo, you should not keep living being. Oh, this is the first admonishment, okay? Panona handabo, then adena, nadataban, you should not take others' property what is not given. Then kamesu mecha na charitaba, you should not do such a misconduct. Then musa na basitaba, you should not tell lying. Misan na padaba, you should not take alcoholic and you should not use the drugs. Yatha bhautin bhunjata, you can conquer your country yourself. Oh. Okay, you can enjoy with your countries. He only just admonished with these sentences. So this means then the universal monarchs asked them to observe the 5 precepts and also allow him to continue to conquer his own countries. Then this king also accept and he became his follower king. Okay. Okay, after that he went to the South Oceans, North Oceans, and also East Ocean and North Ocean. Then all kings from those places became his follower kings. Then the universal monarchs conquered the whole world. Okay, again. Then he became universal monarchs again with the treasure wheel. Then after concurrence of the whole world, then he the treasure wheel, the wheat treasures returned to his capital cities. Then it exists at original place. Then the universal monarchs also comes together with the wheat treasure, Chaka Irana. Okay, then he became universal monarchs. In this way, how many generations become universal monarchs? Okay, this is the first generation. Then next, this universal, when this universal monarchs become old, when the wheat treasure slipped from its position, then he also transferred his country to then his eldest sons. In this way, up to 7th generations. So altogether, 7th generations become universal monarchs, beginning from Danla Nemi universal monarchs. Okay, so now already around maybe 1.5 hours, that's it. Then we are talking about only just universal monarchs. So altogether, 7 universal monarchs. Okay, then the 7th universal monarchs also will become hermit. Then his sons will fulfill the duties of universal monarchs or not. Then later, when we have chance, then next time, what time? Okay, next time we will continue to explain the sutta. Okay. Yeah. Then you only just keep in your mind in this stage. Okay. Then we should start our Dhamma talk now. Okay, for this times. Then maybe next time we will continue. this suttas according to the Buddha's instructions here. Okay, so by following the Buddha's instruction, may be able to stay with the Dhamma, may be able to practice the Buddha's Dhamma. By practicing the Buddha's instruction, by following the Buddha's instruction, may you realize Nibbana as soon as possible.
Sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good.
Thank you.
So, Sayadaw, in complete today's good deeds, after we listen to Dhamma talk, we would like to seek Sayadaw guidance to share merits towards all beings, Sayadaw.
Share merits. Okay. Share merits. Repeat after me to share our merits, your merits to all beings. Okay?
Yes,
Idame punya.
Idame punya. Usually we use this share merits, but if Sayadaw has another sharing merits, we follow Sayadaw.
Okay, repeat after me. Okay, idame punya.
Idame punyang.
Asawa kayang.
Asawa kayang.
Wahang hotu.
Wahang hotu.
Idame punyang.
Idame punyang.
Nibbanasa.
Nibbanasa.
Pacayo.
Pacayo.
Hotu.
Hotu.
Mama punya bagang.
Mama punya bagang.
Sabha satanang.
Sabha satanang.
Bhajemi.
Bhajemi.
Te sabe.
Te sabe.
Me sama.
Me samang.
Punya bagang.
Punya bagang.
Labandu.
Labantu. Sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu. Sadhu.